Example 7, direction angles of vectors. Part A says find the direction angle of vector P, which is 2, 9, to the nearest tenth of a degree. Now, in the way in the past that we've done this is if you looked at the graph, you would say, okay, so this vector is traveling 2 units to the right and 9 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we would draw a vector, and then we would ask ourselves, if we were looking for this direction angle, which direction angle would be the kind of like the reference angle here. If I made a reference triangle, it would be this angle right there. If I wanted to find that, and I knew that this had a height of 9, x value 2, I would ask myself, well, psi y cos x, tangent is y over x. If I'm given a y and an x, then I could say that tangent of theta would equal 9 over 2. And for the calculator's purposes, to get theta by itself, what I would need to do is I would flip these two by taking an inverse. And so we could say that tan inverse of 9 over 2 will equal theta. And so you go over to the calculator and solve this way. And so we'd go to, tan inverse of 9 over 2. And it would say that this is a 77.5 degree angle. And that could be our answer. And honestly, that is an accurate answer. But an easier way of kind of looking at this using vectors, that notation that we have is, okay, this is the vector 2, 9. And they gave it to us in what's called rectangular form. If I would need to find direction or magnitude, I can type it into the calculator and change to convert to polar. So that's the other way of doing this. And this is probably the quicker way. So here's what I'll do. I'll go to my calculator, press Control, parenthesis, that gives me the vector symbols, and then I do 2, 9. And I want to convert this to polar. So you go Menu, choose Vector, go all the way down till we see vectors again, and we convert to polar. This will give it to us as h and theta. As you'll see, that's my hypotenuse length is 9.2, basically, and the angle remained the same. It's kind of an easier way of solving this answer. Here's just a diagram saying the same exact thing as we already found. So part B, let's just do the quicker way. They gave us as linear combinations. This means we're going left 7 units, up 2 units, so I could put this in vector notation for the calculator as -7, 2. And this time I'm just going to convert this to polar. And let's see what the calculator gives us. So control parenthesis, -7, 2, and then I'm going to convert that to polar by going Menu, 7 for vectors, and C for vectors, and then convert to polar. And hit Enter. It says 164.05 degrees, so we'll say 164.1. I forgot what this value is, but I do remember the angle is 164.1 degrees. Let's see what the h value was. Let me go back there. It was 7.3 when we round. And so this time, that would be my answer choice, or my correct angle. Let's check the picture and make sure it looks accurate. When we go here, this should be left 7 up 2, putting it in the second quadrant, which does seem like 164.1 degrees. Yep, it worked out right. Now here's one for you to try.